Hey everybody, and welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our big show where we show you some of the biggest and best books that you can pre-order by this weekend. Your pre-orders are due Sunday by 6 o'clock, so head on over to infinityflux.net right now where you can start placing your pre-orders for these books, so when they release in a few weeks, you don't have to worry about them selling out. You'll already have your name on them, whether you shop in the store at Infinity Flux, at infinityflux.net and get them mailed to you, or if you shop at a different store, you still can see some of the cool stuff that's coming out, and you can ask your store for it. But this is a big week of books, especially for indie books.
Right, lots of indies, number ones, number twos, things like that.
Yeah, some stuff shifted around from our Wednesday show. Some stuff was, I guess, moved to probably next week, like Absolute Batman,
And
Batwoman.
yeah.
But if you've already pre-ordered those things, it doesn't matter. Your pre-order still stays, so you just got a little extra head start on that kind of stuff.
But that's a perfect example of like when we have to do this show sometimes when we record it on Wednesdays and we say, oh, there might be something that moves around. Well, this time we had two big books that that got pushed back about a week or so. And like you said, your pre-order is still there if you did pre-order, so no worries, but every now and then things get moved around a little.
Yeah, but we still have some really awesome stuff. So we're going to kick it off with the Prime Comic pre-orders, and I'm starting this time talking about The Fury of Firestorm #1. This is awesome. So this is by Jeff Lemire, and the art is by Rafael de la Torre. And we've actually got a chance to read the first 3 issues of this, so it's going to be a while before we get to read a new issue of it, not till like midsummer. But let me tell you, this is in our top favorite of the new Next Level books. This is incredible. So, I'll tell you what the solicitation says. The community of Bedford, Colorado is a sleepy small town. The people say hello to their neighbors, attend town hall meetings, and root for the local high school football teams on Friday nights. But this idyllic small town is thrown upside down when the nuclear man arrives and starts experimenting. Firestorm has turned buildings to sand and people to glass with no remorse and no warning. What exactly provoked Ronnie Raymond to commit these heinous acts, and can anyone contain the fury that is Firestorm? So, yeah, that's a good setup for this first issue. It really does feel like out of nowhere, like, you know, this superhero, like, you know, he's recently been involved with the Justice League Unlimited and everything, starts being very almost alien, very cold when he moves in this place and starts manipulating. Of course, he can change things on a molecular level. And it does give me vibes of the movie Annihilation. I just watched that, where it's like things shift around. So like people, there's like the shapes of people, but they're glass, or trees are made of this thing or whatever. It's him like kind of shifting stuff around. But there's another big part of this, and you can kind of figure it out if you look at this cover, but there's other characters involved in this as well that are kind of brought in to try and figure out what is going on with Firestorm, and can they kind of get through to the human inside of Firestorm. And the first issue is great, but as it goes on, there's a mystery or a truth that is revealed about Firestorm that is literally going to kind of shake this character back to his origins.
Yeah, they're doing something with Firestorm in this book that I've never seen done with Firestorm before. They're exploring an aspect of Firestorm that I don't think has ever been explored in the comics before. I believe it is in this first issue. We read all 3 at once, so it all kinds of blends together, but I believe it is in this first issue, where it kind of does explain why he's doing this in the first place. It doesn't make you wait till issue 2 or 3 to figure it out. There are still some questions by the time you get to the end of this, but at least you'll have, you know, by the time you get to the end of the first issue, you'll be like, oh, that's why this is happening. And, oh, I wonder why it, you know, I wonder what the details are, the circumstances are around it. And like I said, you'll say like, oh, I've never seen this aspect of Firestorm before. The one thing that bugged me is I didn't think his powers worked on organic objects, but he's like turning people to glass and stuff, and that's in the solicitation. So I was confused by that. Maybe that's a pre-crisis thing. I'm not sure, but
yeah, and it could be also because of the story, something has kind of unlocked something. But it's really cool. There's as the issues go on, there is more familiar faces to Firestorm lore that are brought in, and they play their own roles in it. But There's a big shocking thing that happens in issue 3. So this is going to be a 6-issue series.
8 issues.
8 issues. Yeah. Even on the website it still says 6, but yeah, it's going to be 8 issues, but this feels like one of the ones that could really take off and become an ongoing very easily.
Yeah, absolutely. We were on a retailer call with DC and Jeff Lemire. And Jeff Lemire, he was there, and Rafael De La Torre was there too. They said they're already done with like issue number 5, I believe, when that was a couple weeks ago. So they're already well ahead on this. He said that the story couldn't quite fit into 6 issues, so they got a couple more to be able to let this breathe the way it needs to. And of course, he mentioned that just like a lot of DC books, if the sales are there, if the pre-order sales are there, because it's the pre-order sales that really, really count. If the pre-order sales are there, this could get extended maybe to 12 issues or maybe even ongoing. And trust us when we say this book is awesome. It's my favorite. I don't know if it's yours. It's my favorite of the new Next Level books that we've read already. And I would love to see this get extended. So definitely get your pre-orders in and show DC that this is a book that we want to keep reading after the initial 8 issues. Artwork is fantastic.
Yeah, it does some cool stuff too with the artwork that kind of for a time feels a little retro and then modern, and there's reasons why it does all that. But this is really great, and it is such a interesting first story for Firestorm that is not a very traditional superhero story. It's almost has vibes of like Dr. Manhattan or something.
A little bit,
of like, oh, this unstoppable force. Now what do we do about it?
And this mystery runs pretty deep into Firestorm lore as well. We'll leave it there, but I was pretty shocked. I mean, they're really taking a big swing with Firestorm, which is the entire point of All In and Next Level, is creators taking their biggest swings with these characters, and this really is that. So we cannot recommend this more highly. It is so good. The artwork is great. The mystery, everything about it is awesome. And then issues 2 and 3 are also phenomenal. So definitely get your pre-orders in for this one, because this is going to be a big one.
Yeah, like you said, a big swing. Like if you're liking the Absolute stuff and the stuff they're doing there, where they're kind of taking characters in places you've never seen them, this feels like the equivalent of that, but with Firestorm.
Yep.
So we've got our A cover right here by your interior artist, Rafael De La Torre. We have a Riley Rossmo cover. We have a Chris Burnham cover. We have a Jorge Corona Next Level cover, and you'll be seeing these for all the Next Level books. We have a Chris Burnham foil variant, and a blank sketch cover as well.
Can you go back to the first Chris Burnham cover? Yeah, so this is the one I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So what's cool about this cover is that if you'll notice on the left-hand side and the right, well, it's cut off on ours, or on the screen a little bit, but there are fingers on the left-hand side of the screen, and there's also fingers a little bit on the right side of the screen. You can't quite see. But the cool thing about this cover is it is made to be, this is going to be kind of weird, this is actually made to be a connecting cover with the original Fury of Firestorm, or is it Firestorm the Nuclear Man, the first issue of the original 5-issue series. If you take 2 of those covers, if you take 2 copies of Firestorm the Nuclear Man #1 from the late 70s and place it on either side of this cover, it makes one complete image. So Chris Burnham took those covers, and then so the fingers connect to the fingers, because he's flying on that first cover. The fingers connect to that right there.
Well, you can even see, you can't really see it on our one on the screen, but up here, it even has part of the old DC logo.
That's right,
that completes the round DC logo on one side. So it's such an interesting, weird idea.
It's a little bit of a weird idea, and unfortunately, there's no plans for DC to do a facsimile of the original Firestorm #1, so you would have to have the original copies from the late 70s, but if you do have a couple laying around, grab those 2 and then put this cover in the middle, and it will seamlessly connect from all the way from left to the right. I don't know why you would do that with the same cover, but it doesn't. It's just a cool thing.
It's just a cool idea.
Yeah, good job to Chris
you
Burnham.
Could make it repeating. Just extend it. Get a couple of these, a couple more Firestorms. Just have it going.
You can put it on your wall. Make like a border around your room or something. And I guess but you don't see the fingers on the foil one. So, and I guess that would be weird. You'd have like an old 70s comic and then a foil. It wouldn't matter. So, but yeah, that original Chris Burnham, it will connect with Firestorm #1. It's really neat. All right. So this is the Hab #1. This is a new book from Bad Idea. This is written by Joshua Dysart, and the art is by David Lapham, Bill Sienkiewicz, and Jacob Phillips. And this is about a billionaire named Tuttle Barrows who has prepared for everything, including the end of the world. Years and years ago, he used his massive wealth to build a massive sealed habitat atop a once protected ancient freshwater glacial cave. And now the end of the world is happening. The world is unraveling. So Tuttle Barrows and his family and a hand-picked inner circle retreat to this sanctuary that they built, which was built to outlast civilization itself. But something was already there beneath the layers of ice in the ancient freshwater vault. A long dormant danger lurks. And while hallucinations twist their reality and violence spreads like a fever, they must descend deeper or risk their last refuge becoming a tomb. So a cool new kind of post-apocalyptic end of the world story from Bad Idea. Bad Idea, they some of their last few books have been really interesting.
Yeah.
They've had some great artwork, so definitely looking forward to checking this one out. This is our A cover from Charlie Adlard. There's a Sarah Sumire Lost Text variant and an E.M. Carroll variant.
Well, next up we have Nectar #2. The #1 was a huge hit, sold out immediately. And continuing on here with issue #2. As the butterfly infestation spreads across Misery Island and more people fall victim to their mind-altering sting, the village reverend rallies his flock to cast out the demonic plague, and the man he holds responsible for it, Amos Hall, who is the doctor and a butterfly enthusiast, and kind of our protagonist, one of them for the series. This, is about like this small town kind of slowly falling into horror and disarray and the dancing plague and all of that. So it's a lot of fun. And we also want to mention at the top of the show, because you will see here in a second. So there is our A cover right here. There is a black bag variant where you could see why it's bagged. There is a second printing of #1.
Yeah.
So you can get this. They come out on the same day. So you can pick up issue 1 and 2 on the same day.
I love when that happens. That happens a lot with reprintings of #1s and then new #2s. I love when they come out at the same time. Because if you did miss it the first time around, you get to read 2 issues at the same time.
Yeah, you kind of get like supercharged for all of them. So there is a second printing of #1, and there is a black bagged version of the second printing #1.
All right, well, we have Dork #3, and this has been a really hot book as well, so we wanted to put this near the top of the show as well. And in this one, Dork is being followed by an annoyingly large and ominous dwarf, aimed on erasing him from existence, literally erasing him from existence by using a potion from the Silver Witch. So Dork is going to face off against a real threat with a giant hammer, and things will happen that will change his fate forever. Or he'll get wiped from existence. It could go either way, really. But so a new issue of Dork. This has been a really, really fun series. This is our Brett Bean A cover. There's a Mirka and Dolfo cover. There is a Brett Bean I Hate Fairyland team-up cover, which is cool. And then we have the 4th printing of #1. And this also comes out on the same day as #3. So
that's a wraparound cover.
Oh,
too.
Is it? Okay, yeah. Hopefully you have #2, because if not, you'll have 1 and 3, but not #2. That's kind of weird. But yeah, so this is the 4th printing of #1, the A cover of that, and then there is a blank sketch variant that is the 4th printing of #1.
Yeah, and you'll be seeing some of these I Hate Fairyland team up or I Hate team up covers.
Honestly, yeah.
There is another one that we're not including on the show that has a wordy dirt on it.
Yeah.
So we're not showing that one, but you can go on the website and check them out. But it's really fun, the I Hate team up covers.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more of those later. Well, next up we have Emperor Aquaman #16. So this is our second issue of Emperor Aquaman in the big Aquaman story. Like he has text that talks about a comic book.
That's funny.
So this is, I feel like, where this storyline is really kicking off.
Yeah.
The last issue, the one that came out this week, kind of showed you a little bit. It ended a previous storyline and kind of started the next one, where you kind of saw Aquaman getting inspired to do what he's going to do next. But this is where it really hits. So the lighthouse is lit, and Emperor Aquaman begins to send emissaries to the far ends of the universe to establish his kingdom in the far reaches of space. But when Jackson Hyde doesn't check in, Aquaman and the Emperor's Guard, the Shiver, must embark on a rescue mission that turns friends into foes, a mission that won't be as simple as Aquaman had hoped. So we're now starting to see Aquaman going to other planets that have oceans and trying, like, how can he connect them all within the blue? And, you know, it was always kind of the joke when people are like, oh, Aquaman, you're like, oh yeah, but he controls like 3/4 of the world.
Of the world, right.
Now he controls like 3/4 of the universe with all the oceans and everything. So you're going to be seeing weird alien fish and shark men and all that kind of stuff as Aquaman gets even bigger. So don't miss out on this. This has been such a fun series, and I think it's only getting better.
Yeah, this week's issue was a little weird because normally, you know, they'll wrap up a story arc and then next issue they'll start a new one, but this one was half finishing a story arc and then also starting the new one. Yeah, so a little bit weird. So this is the one I'm looking forward to because this is where things are going to get crazy.
Yeah, so we've got our A cover here by John Timms, who is still your interior artist on the book. We have an Ariel Diaz cover, really nice with Mara. We have a Nathan Zerdy cover. We have a Ariel Colin Things to Come variant, which I don't know. There's Mogo.
Mogo, that's interesting. Is he gonna like go to travel to Mogo and
Does Mogo
do something?
I guess has water on it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so these Things to Come variants, if you don't know, we saw a couple of them last week, and we'll see more over the next few weeks. But they're just like little teases as to literally things to come. Who's the face in the background? Is that Mara?
It kind of looks like Mara, but I'm trying to figure out what the bird thing is at the bottom.
Yeah.
Aquabird.
Is it really?
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, so these Things to Come variants just give you like it's almost like a one page, like in a Marvel Timeless book, you know, just kind of gives you little tiny clues as to things that are going to happen in future stories. So, you know, we got some sharks and we got Mogo and this weird
lighthouse.
A lighthouse. Yeah, Mara, I guess, is in the background.
There's a lot to kind of, the more you look, the more you see.
Yeah, these are great covers. I like these.
Yeah, but yeah, also look for Aquaman teaming up with Starro as he journeys across the universe.
I really want him to ride Starro the way he did on the cover to number 15 this week. That was great.
Oh, and there's also the Crystal Kung April Drools Day cover, which are kind of the April Fool's Day covers, but with crypto featured on them. So you may be seeing more. I don't remember if there's more of those on this one, but over the course of the weeks, you'll be seeing
there's
them.
about a dozen or so of these spread out across various DC books. Yeah, don't know if there's any more on this show, but you will see more, if not today, in another week or two. All right, this is Pretty Hate Machine #1. This is a new 5-issue miniseries from Mad Cave. This is written by Ryan Onan and Tim Seeley, and the art is by Paolo Armitano. And this is about this guy on the cover here. He's a young man named Thomas, and his father was killed in a freak accident. And so his mother begins to take refuge in the company of his uncle. And this is not, Thomas isn't taking this very well. Well, he's visited by a ghoulish kid named Luther with knives for hands and rows of teeth like an ancient shark. And you can see that on the cover right there. And Luther tells Thomas that his father was actually murdered and that everything his mother and uncle is telling him is a lie. And Thomas doesn't know what to believe. Should he believe his friends and his teachers and his mom? And they all tell him that grief isn't for the faint of heart, but his grief will pass. Or does he believe Luther, who pulls Thomas through a bloody whirlwind of conspiracies, vengeance, and slaughter, showing him the lies and corruption that surround him? It says that Thomas must fight to discover the truth behind his father's death while struggling to keep his new friend from leaving a massacre in his wake. But that truth might be far more sinister than Thomas is prepared for. So yeah, this sounds really cool. Mad Cave does a great job with these types of books here, so looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I read, we had like 6 or 7 pages of this.
Oh, nice.
And especially how those ended, is pretty brutal and scary.
Okay, sweet. Well, this is our A cover. There's a Michael Gatos cover, and there's a Rod Rice variant.
Well, next up, we have Event Horizon Inferno. So this is our second Event Horizon related mini-series. This one is also by Christian Ward with art by Rob Carey. And the first one was really awesome. You don't have to have seen Event Horizon, the movie, to understand what's going on in these. They're just they're still based around the Event Horizon, the ship, but they're kind of set before or after. They use that as kind of a jumping off point. So this one, perfect for new readers. It's not just a follow-up to the previous miniseries. It's a new jumping on point. It says it's Aliens meets Dante's Inferno. Space Marines clash with demons aboard the Event Horizon. This follow-up to the biggest horror comic of 2025. That makes me just sounds like Doom. Space Marines versus demons. In 2040, the starship Event Horizon disappeared. 7 years later, it returned possessed by a demonic entity. After murdering its rescue crew, it was blown in half with the front of the ship left yearning for its heart, a gravity drive designed for interdimensional travel. 200 years later, a billionaire brings his own private Starfleet to the wreckage around Neptune. He's heard stories that the Event Horizon will gleefully sacrifice any number of employees to uncover its secrets. So another story set within the Event Horizon world. This one is set after all the stuff with the Event Horizon. So the first one was a big hit. So pre-order this #1. I thought you were about to say
Yeah, no, sorry.
So we've got our A cover here by Christian Award. That's your writer. We have a Carrie cover. So that's your interior artist. And there is a Winkle cover. Space Marine.
All right, so this is a new 4-issue miniseries called Estuary, a ghost story, and this is from Oni Press. This is written by Tim Daniel and D.B. Andry, and the art is by Mon House. And atop a rocky cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean sits the mission at Arbuez Point. It's a 400-year-old Spanish mission made infamous as one of California's oldest and most haunted historical sites. But beneath this mission, or beneath its crumbling tourist trap facade, a reclusive nun has spent decades within the mission's walls, honing her prayers and practice in pursuit of a secret long buried beneath the majesty of the chapel and under the dark waves of the tidal estuary below. And when marine archaeologist Maris Cristobal accepts the nun's offer to begin excavating a fabled shipwreck lying in wait beneath the mission's turbulent waters, she'll soon discover the sins of the past and present are about to wash together in a harrowing surge of a vengeance that can no longer be contained. So that sounds like a lot. This one sounds like it's a bit of a heady story a little bit, but another creepy. Creepy, like old Spanish, like marine type thing. So this should be cool. This is our A cover. That's your interior artist right there. There's a Vanessa Del Rey variant and a Tim Daniel variant, who is one of the writers on this.
Well, next up we have a big one. This is Thundercats X Silverhawks #1. Now, this is going to be written and drawn by Declan Shalvey, who is the writer on Thundercats and all of that, but this is going to be a 40-page one-shot kicking off a 15-part crossover.
So this isn't like the first part of the 15. Well, I mean, it's not like
it is,
but it's not like part one.
I think it is part 1.
I guess do the rest of the parts go back and forth between Thundercats?
Yes,
and
it says spanning 3 titles over 5 months.
Right, we talked about that on Wednesday. Yeah.
It's going to go between Thundercats, Silverhawks, and Thunderhawks, a new series that is starting after this.
I really want them to just be like mashups. I mean,
I know some of them are. I think Thunderhawks is a mashup.
I didn't know if it was like a new team of groups or if they are literally taking these 2 characters and just squishing them together.
I think of Thunderhawks like they're Thundercats with like the Silverhawks armor.
Okay,
and everything.
That's awesome.
So this is just like Dynamite has a lot of covers. They also have a lot of text for their solicitations. So civilizations collide in the crossover event of the Millennium when Panthro originally set out on his mission to launch a new satellite high above Third Earth. He never imagined he would wind up changing the destiny of 2 entire galaxies. But as soon as he boarded the mysteriously deserted space station and began digging into its workings, that destiny was set in motion. And now the day of reckoning is at hand. Alerted to an anomaly at the long dormant base in a quarantine sector, the Copper Kid, Quicksilver, Chromium, the Silverhawks' newest member, defy Stargazer's orders and set out on their own to investigate. But as soon as they land on the Forbidden Planet, they are confronted by a fearsome band of strange cat-like warriors, quickly find themselves in a fight for their lives. The battle is joined by more Thundercats, including several whose fearsome abilities threaten to overwhelm the isolated Silverhawks. But when a second vessel appears in orbit, it becomes clear to Panthro that the reinforcements are on their way, and not even the Eye of Thundera will be able to stop them. So yeah, this is going to be the kickoff of this 15-part crossover. And I'm not sure like what the storyline is once that happens, but I feel like there's going to be a third party that gets involved, and then it's going to have these teamed up. So sounds really fun. I also love that first part is 40 pages, so you're really going to be able to get a lot of story in this. And there's a lot of variant covers. I only included some, but you check the website to find all of them. So we've got our A cover here by Declan Shalvey, your writer and interior artist. We have a Perio cover.
That's great.
We have a Eric Canetti cover.
Just wrapped up Absolute Batman,
yeah. And we have a Ben Oliver cover.
And yeah, check the website for even more.
Yep.
All right, so we have Ordained number 0. So we actually talked about this a few weeks ago. Excuse me. And then it got pushed back. And I'm glad that it did, because this is kind of a special one-off issue of Ordained, and it's called the Machine. Ordained presents the Machine. And if you read Ordained number 2, you know that Cormac Byrne, who was a big crime boss who thought he was going to die and told Father Roy all of his secrets. Well, he didn't die, right? In issue number 2, Cormac Byrne sent all these goons after Father Roy to kill him, basically, and it didn't work. Like, Father Roy's an ex-military guy. He took all these guys down. So he got really frustrated and made a call and said, you know, send in the machine, or call the machine, you know. So who is the machine? Well, that's what this issue tells us. So this kind of acts as more or less of a prequel to, I guess, issue number 3, whenever we see that guy, right? The machine is an unrestrained force of blue-collar brutality, and he doesn't hesitate, and he doesn't stop until the work is done. You know, he doesn't feel shame, pain, or remorse, and he absolutely will not stop until you're, you know, one Terminator thing. So in this issue, we're going to meet the man tasked with cleaning up Cormac Byrne's mess in this brutal, no prisoners, one-shot, and witness how the machine takes care of his business. So when we first talked about this, Ordained number 2 had not come out yet, so that didn't really make a lot of sense at the time, but now we know exactly what this is. We're going to get an origin story, basically, of the guy that Cormac Byrne called in at the end of issue number 2. I'm looking forward to this. So this is the Jorge Fornes A cover. There's a Trevor Hairsine variant, and that's who is the interior artist on this issue. There's a Carrie Nord variant. And then on top of this, we also have a 4th printing of the first issue and a 2nd printing of the 2nd issue. So if you haven't read this at all, you still have a chance to get these books. I really like this one a lot. It's only, it's a 3-issue series, but then you add that issue number 0 to it, so it's actually 4 issues total. But it's really cool. I wish it would go on longer. I don't know how long they could really stretch the story out, but it feels like it needs at least more than. I mean, it's only after this. There's only one more issue. It feels like it could go a little longer than that, but it's awesome. Yeah, check it out.
Well, next up we have a new one, Murder Hobo. So this is from Joseph Schmalk, and the artist is Ryan G. Brown. And this is going to be an ongoing series. Now, there has been a previous Murder Hobo series from a different publisher. But this is like brought back, and now with a new artist and everything. So in the lands of high adventure, brave heroes seeking fame and fortune wage glorious battles against the malevolent forces threatening their realm. But this is not their story. No, this is a tale about a different type of hero, the dreaded murder hobo. Selfish mercenaries who thrive on anarchy. These agents of chaos foil even the best laid plans. Follow their exploits in this new ongoing series. So if you are looking for more crazy mayhem, all that, much like Dork and like you know, a lot of those kind of books, it sounds like it's gonna be really fun.
And if you read 8 Billion Genies or Lucky Devils, you know, Ryan Brown was the artist on those, so this will have that same feel.
So we've got our A cover right here and a Ryan Brown variant.
This is Ultimate Wolverine number 16, and this is the final issue of this series. In this one, Wolverine and Phoenix track magic right into the demonic dimension of Limbo for an epic, devastating showdown. And to escape Limbo, a final sacrifice must be made, one that will lead directly into Ultimate Endgame number 5, which we have only gotten 2 parts or 3? Only 2, right? 2, I think, yeah. So this comes out April 15th. we won't have Ultimate Endgame number 5 by then, so it'll be I guess they're not going to quite line up.
Well, it says leads in, so maybe it'll drop a little like thing that will be picked up later
I
in
guess
5. Also, this was another one that the full solicitation was like reaching the end of year 2 of the Ultimate Universe. And you're like, you just say the end of the Ultimate Universe?
Yeah.
Why are we still calling it year 2? But who knows?
Who knows?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But this has been one of my favorite Ultimate series.
Yeah, I really like this one a lot. So this is our A cover. There's a Francesco Manna variant and a Marcus Martin Ultimate Finale. Wait, Ultimate is this is an Ultimate Finale variant.
Yeah.
Which all the other ones we've seen have been on non-Ultimate books, so now we're getting an Ultimate Finale.
Oh no, there's been these two. There's a Black Panther one that's like.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is also Ultimate Finale books that are on.
No, those are Ultimate Farewell. Okay, geez, Louise.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to keep up with. Well, next up we have X-Men United issue number 2. So number 1 came out this week. It was interesting. That's what I'll have to say about it. There's a lot of choices made, and I am looking forward to seeing how those play out. But most of it was a setup of the new school, on the psychic plane, where mutants from anywhere can come together and learn, led by Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost. But we're continuing that here. Mutantdom's newest Institute of Higher Learning has barely welcomed its first students, and things are already going down in flames, which that's what I want to know about, and yeah.
If it's the flames that we saw at the very end of the first issue, and who causes those flames, yes, I do want to see more of that, because I have opinions. Yeah, I have feelings about it.
Meanwhile, an elite team of mutants has to travel through time on a mission alongside none other than Captain America. So that just looks like a cool team right there.
Yeah.
Having a little bit of X-Men, a little bit of Avengers mashed up.
When they travel through time, is it back to World War II or maybe just back to?
I think so, because look at the planes in the sky.
Oh,
Those are very World War II bombers. So, but I don't know if it's modern day Captain America or they go back and like meet up with Captain America of the time.
That would be cool.
But yeah, seeing that, I want a book that's Captain America and Beast teamed up.
Yes, I love that vision of Beast right there. Yeah,
that's really, really cool. So we've got our A cover right here. There's a David Nakayama color block white variant with Emma Frost. We've got a ARAH cover. And we have a Tiago Palma Gray Matter Lane cover, which is now Gray Matter Flame.
Nice. You've been saving that all day.
I don't know.
Like I thought of that 5 hours ago. And
I mean, if it's on the mental plane, don't you think it's like it's on fire, and then someone would be like, "No, it's not," and then
just think it out. Yeah,
just think it not on fire. Right. But I don't know. We'll see. Next up, we have Big Event Check-In, which one of these is not necessarily a big event, but they're kind of related.
Yeah. This is Venom number 257, which is Death Spiral Part 8, and Death Spiral is only 9 parts in total, so this is the next to last issue of this story. Anna Watson and May Parker are caught in the Death Spiral, and their only hope is Flash Thompson. Will Spider-Man and Venom save the day, or will Mary Jane and Peter's old wounds create a new tragedy? And where is Carnage in all this? Even when you find out, you still won't believe it. So hopefully by this time they have all ran into Torment, because it's been 3 issues and none of them have even met up with the bad guy yet. So a little frustrating, but looking forward to checking this out.
It's interesting on the cover too, because that Skrull guy who was the kickoff. Where he was like coming to warn people.
Well, he was coming to warn people about Null.
Oh yeah.
So why is he there?
He just warns people about stuff.
Yeah. He's just like an alarm or something. So this is our A cover. There's a Mark Bagley classified variant, which we haven't seen any of these yet.
Yeah, we've seen one.
Was it? What was it? Was that the one with Shocker?
No, it was one with the character that died in the issue this week. So the characters, like one of the characters is big, and then there's another smaller character, and they're called like the Target or something like that variants, and they're like, basically if you see who's on it, that's who dies in that issue. But yeah, there was one for the issue that came out this week, and there's one for the issue coming out next week.
This is the Abon Coelho 9-part connecting variant. There is the Godtail variant. That looks weird. And there's an EJ Sue variant.
Putting on Venom like a pair of pants.
Yeah, right.
Well, next up, we have Supergirl number 12. This is part of the Reign of the Superboys, even though we're still don't quite know what that means. It feels like as these series go on, we may start seeing them, those parts of the stories come together. I'm not sure. But this one looks really fun because it's Cyborg Girl.
Yeah.
The conflict in Kandor between the Science Council and the younger Kandorians is only growing more tense. Supergirl's first run-in with the rebel leader Black Flame ends with her broken and without her powers, forcing her to seek recovery with the Science Council. But despite Supergirl's warning, the Council has their own plan to stop Black Flame, a powerful clone capable of taking down anyone in their path. So do they make a clone of Supergirl, and is this essentially Cyborg Superman, but with Cyborg Supergirl?
Oh man, I don't know, but
which would harken to Reign of the Superman.
It would. I want to see in the upcoming Superman Spider-Man. I want to see Cyborg Spider-Man with his arm, and this fighting Cyborg Superman.
Yes,
that would be cool.
So I think this is really interesting. This storyline started off kind of like, I don't want to say like cutesy fun. But then there was a just super brutal fight that literally left Supergirl like bleeding and falling off a ledge.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the series, it has a nice Silver Age feel to it, and there's just like there's some adventure, but it's nothing too crazy. And then the issue that came out this week, just fist fights and blood and oh my gosh, yeah,
it was crazy.
But it's all still drawn by the same artist, so it's weird to see. It still has that sort of a little bit more cartoony, stylistic style, but Supergirl is now all bloody, and it's pretty neat, yeah.
And it doesn't say anything here about Boy Thunder. But there was a thing in the last issue, and I think that they're purposefully not mentioning that, but that's going to play a big part.
Will Connor Kent play a role too? Because he's a Superboy, and he was...
I think so, and he's on one of the connecting covers. We'll see. So we've got
a lot of questions.
Yeah, we've got our A cover right here. We have a Nick Dragotta variant.
Okay.
That may be what Supergirl would look like if she was an absolute Batman.
Yeah.
The Villalobos cover, which is really nice. A Swaby cover, an Amy Reeder Things to Come variant.
Okay,
so you can see
we do see Connor Kent with Lena Luthor. That's the girl. What's her name? She's the bad guy.
Black Flame.
Yeah, that's her. And
but it looks like Boy Thunder is a member of a group of 3 down there.
Okay.
So what's that? Well, I don't know, but it's kind of cool.
Lots of questions.
And Connor's up there too.
Yeah, I like these covers.
Then we also have a Marguerite Sauvage April Drools Day cover as well.
Yeah. All right, so this is Action Comics number 1097. Number 1096 came out this week. It's the start of this new story arc. And this is also part of the Reign of the Superboys overall storyline that, again, it's not connecting all the books together, but it's just that each book is focusing on a different Superboy in some way, shape, or form. And in this one, the heroes of tomorrow have arrived in the past, and we saw that at the end of this week's issue, and you see it on the cover there too. They need Superboy's help, but what can a young Clark Kent do that they can't? Find out as Smallville is turned upside down and the reign of the Superboys continues. So I'm very interested to find out, what do they want with a young Clark Kent? Why are they back in time? What I don't know what's going on. This is our A cover. There's a Hayden Sherman cover. There's a Amy Reeder variant, and I like that. And then a Skylar Patridge Things to Come variant. This one doesn't seem too quote unquote spoilery because we already saw that big bad guy and we know the 3 of them. But who's that?
I don't know. And I think that the Martian Manhunter and Mary and Booster are going to take Clark to the present in the Watchtower.
There's the Watchtower, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they're leading to.
Oh, and what's this fleet of ships right here?
Yeah, almost like an alien invasion of Smallville.
These covers are fun. Like I wish DC would do this for every story arc. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I want to know who that guy is in the visor.
So we're gonna be getting Superman Unlimited next week. We'll be talking about on Monday, and that's with the new character Tomorrow Man.
Do we know for sure they're going to be in there? Okay.
And I flipped through it. Very interesting. And, that's also the one where we're getting young John Kent again.
That's right.
That's going to be one to watch for John Kent fans.
I love the fact that, you know, Superman has disappeared at the end of DCKO. We don't know where he went. And even though Superman is not around, all of the Superman family books are still wildly interesting.
Yeah.
And when Superman 36 comes out on the 25th, holy cow. We'll talk about that later, but it's so good.
Well, next up, we have more Essential Comics, starting off with Frankenstein New World. So this is our next part in the, actually, this is the Hellboy universe, but it's just in the far future as this new world has come about. And Frankenstein, a character who was introduced way back in the Hellboy era, now in forward in time, called by Liz Sherman, envisions to save the new world. Frankenstein and Lilja begin using Vril energy to try and find her, but the Earth is being corrupted by a parasitic and powerful evil, and their time to stop it is running out. So this is the third miniseries in the Frankenstein New World, and it's the return of the creative team of Mike Mignola, Christopher Golden, Thomas Snegalski, Peter Bertring, Michelle Madsen, and Clem Robbins, taking readers into a future as dangerous as it is enchanting from the world of Hellboy. So I really like this Frankenstein series. All these so far have been a lot of fun, and it continues here, and only the one cover for that.
Next up, we have Imperial Guardians #2, and in this one, our heroes head for Zarth, Xarth, Zarth, I guess, which is a minor civilization with major ambitions. And the Zarthians have gotten their hands on something that can make them major players on the galactic stage instantly, or it could bring down the Galactic Union entirely. And you know they're not going to give it up without a fight. So Maximus is going to send these guys and to get it back, I guess. This is our A cover. There's a Chris Campagna Guardians 3000 variant. There's a German Peralta variant and a Stefano Caselli Ultimate Farewell variant with the Ultimate Guardians of the Galaxy.
I would like to see them again. I liked like Ultimate Nullifier and those characters were fun. Well, next up we have Absolute Green Lantern issue number 13. This one's going to be crazy. Tomar Ray is here. We saw that at the end of the previous issue, and maybe he's got some answers for us. And he will not allow Joe Mullen's inexperience to compromise his mission. It's anomaly versus anomaly. And I thought the extra little thing they say is interesting. The red light arrives. So we're going to be getting a red lantern something. I'm not sure. We saw Hal wield a different color in the last issue.
Absolute Atrocitus?
That would be awesome.
I don't know. We haven't seen Atrocitus in this yet, right?
Okay. So we've got our A cover right here. We have an Edgeker variant. We have a Carl Kerschel variant and a Ricky Yagawa variant.
This is Bleeding Hearts #3, and in this one, Poke returns to his horde after meeting up with Mama and Rabbit, and I wasn't sure of the mother's name after reading #2. I guess it's just Mama. And he is profoundly changed and a little bit confused by his encounter with them because, again, he's not viewing them as food anymore. He's experiencing things he cannot explain, things like compassion and sadness. And he's tried his best to convince Mama that he means them no harm and that they should stay hidden. But for Mama, trust is something that's hard earned. So how much of a risk is she willing to take? And can Poke keep the latest hunting party from descending upon their hiding spot? So I think this is going to be a cool issue because the first issue introduced us to Poke and the zombies and it really focused on them. The second issue focused mostly on Mama and Rabbit and introducing us to them and their backstory. So this one, now that we've gotten like those two out of the way, now we can see like where the story is going to go forward now that they've met each other and maybe they can trust each other, maybe they can't, but this is what I think where the real story is going to get started here. So this is our A cover. There's a Nimit Malavia cover and a Steven Subic cover.
Very creepy.
Yeah.
Well, next up we have Sirens, Love Hurts, book 3 of 4. So this is only a 4-issue miniseries. The holidays are here, but not every Siren's feeling the cheer. Sure, Harley and Ivy's friendship warms to a romance, but Catwoman and millionaire Bruce Wayne go ice cold when Bruce attempts to define the relationship. Wasn't he supposed to be a playboy? And then there's the Matter of Black Canary's bachelorette party, where the Sirens and the police commissioner's daughter, Barbara Gordon, are all on the guest list. Tensions ride high, and Gotham's most elusive serial killer horoscope is happy to cut right through them, literally. So it would be cool to see Barbara Gordon in this coming up.
Well, she was in the second issue, but briefly. She wasn't in it very long.
And she wasn't Batgirl, I don't think.
Right. Yeah, well, because she and Dick were helping Black Canary pick out wedding dresses.
Yes.
So they were just in it briefly.
But this has been a lot of fun. If you're enjoying it, definitely make sure to pre-order issue number 3. This is your A cover. There is a Derek Chu variant.
That was nice.
And a Tulote connecting variant with Canary.
Well, this is Flash Gordon number 0, and this is the start of a new era for Flash Gordon, and a new creative team is coming on board. So Dan Abnett is going to be the writer, and Manuel Garcia is the artist. And Flash Gordon has always been a maverick on the football field and out in the stars, but when he's offered a job training the next generation of explorers, he'll end up fighting for Top Gun. And a quick trip around Neptune's moons with Flash's cadets turns into a deadly alien hunt, and one of the new recruits thinks they can save the day without Flash's help. So yeah, introducing a new supporting cast, enemies and allies alike, and setting the stage for a swashbuckling new story. Flash Gordon number 0 is a can't miss. So yeah, new direction for Flash Gordon. This is our Joe Quiñones A cover, and there's a Miguel Mercado variant.
That's really cool. And next up we have G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, Silent Missions. All of these new silent missions, of course, they are no dialogue or anything, but also these are based on Cobra. So the first series was all G.I. Joe. Now these are all Cobra. I think this one sounds really cool. This is by Gabriel Hardman. And it says, join the graduating class of Crimson Guard as they complete their final test, protecting Cobra Commander from an all-out assault from G.I. Joe. Failure is not an option. So I like this idea of like, it's kind of like following the Stormtroopers. What's the Crimson Guard?
Right, yeah. That's what I thought. Like, oh, it's just a random Crimson Guard. What's he doing? He's not anybody special. I think that's neat.
Yeah, so that thing's going to be really fun, and who knows if he's going to make it out alive, given that he doesn't even really have a name. So we've got our A cover here, and there is a Fornes cover as well.
This is Transformers number 31. So real quick, Dan Mora's last issue on interiors was issue number 30. So in this one, and in this one only, Ludo Lullaby is doing the interior artwork, which is going to be awesome. He's doing phenomenal work on Ghost Pepper right now. And he also did the interior artwork on number 19, which was kind of a one-shot, getting us caught up with where Megatron is and what's going on. And in this one, this kind of sort of is related to that, because this is the start of a new story arc. And the secret of Megatron is revealed. Megatron has a vision that will change the course of his life, and no one in the Energon universe is safe. So, I like these little one-off issues that focus on one character, and I like that there's the same artist to keep those issues feeling consistent. This is our David Nakayama A cover. There is a Daniel Warren Johnson cover and a Pi Par cover. Who is your upcoming artist on Mask?
Yeah, so I'm not going to say we're going to get anything from Mask in this issue, but I do think it's interesting that, they're bringing him into the fold of doing variants and everything as we slowly get closer to Mask coming out. Well, next up we have continuing stories, and we're going to kick it off with
Green Lantern Corps number 15. And in this one, we know that John Stewart has been possessed by the Parallax entity that happened in number 14 that came out this week, and he's forced to face all his fears in order to regain control of his body. And that's actually, that was kind of like the B plot in issue number 14, but I thought that was actually more interesting than the Guy Gardner story. But we're getting more of that too in the next galaxy over. Guy Gardner and his group of lanterns search for Proselyte, the entity of compassion, outside of their jurisdiction. They're out in space sector number 3601, and they're risking wars among the stars to do this. So yeah, new stuff here. This is the A cover. There's a Jorge Fornes cover. Oh, that's cool. There's a Ryan Gonzalez cover.
Dress up Kilowog.
And there's a Ariel Colon Things to Come variant. These are so much fun to look at.
So you've got all the lanterns there. You've got some of the emotional spectrum entities.
Yeah.
You've got what's his Zilius Zox? Is that his name? He's just the big Red Lantern head.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Saint Walker's in there.
Saint Walker. Arkillo, the Yellow Lantern.
Yeah. I like him.
I like him a lot. He lost it. There's the storyline. I think it was in Sinestro Corps War or whatever, where he got his tongue like cut off.
I don't remember
and
that.
so he had a Yellow Lantern tongue for a while and stuff. Yeah, he's really cool. Well, next up we have Lands Unknown, the Skinless Man #2. This is only a 2-issue miniseries by Ben Steinbeck, set in the new Mignola universe, the Lands Unknown. The Skinless Man leaves a trail of bodies in his wake as he pursues the warlocks who betrayed him, but each time he fells one foe, another appears in his path. He will fight against the fate in battle. After a bloody battle in this gruesome conclusion, the Skinless Man marks Steinbeck's first story in the horror fantasy Lands Unknown universe, co-created by Hellboy's Mike Mignola. So, yeah, just a 2-issue miniseries. We already got #1. It was a lot of fun. Now we are getting #2. And also wanted to mention the Crown: A Tale of Hell, #2 of 2. So this is the prequel series to Hellboy that's been a lot of fun, at least with the first issue. So, I don't have the notes for this one, but it's about Hellboy's brothers. And they're kind of vying for their father's throne, which we know eventually goes to Hellboy. It's kind of funny. It's kind of like sibling rivalry. That's their mother there who comes into it and kind of plays favorites. So that is another one of the Hellboy universe that you can get the second issue of. And there's also the variant. I really like this one. This is the
Bruno Selig
cover. Yep.
Confirmed. This is the other half, #2. And in this one, Ethan and Henry prepare a wardrobe change to better inhabit their swapped roles and investigate the theft of the Nobility Diamond, which I still don't quite understand why they had to swap roles in the first place. But can they beat Detective Alice Griner to the punch and unravel this twisted web to discover the truth, or will the wrong man go down for this daring crime? But whatever happens, there's one thing that's guaranteed. Ethan and Henry are going to have a wonderful time chasing down leads and look fabulous while they investigate. This is our A cover, and there is a Patricia Martin cover.
And also we have Usagi Yojimbo, Kaito 84. This is our second issue of this new series that started this week about a descendant of Usagi. And the crew is reunited. The target is inside. A high-stakes heist promises a new beginning. But when the job goes sideways, a relentless chase erupts across Osaka. Now with the cops closing in, an even more dangerous foe on their tail, Kaito must outwit his enemies and confront a chilling vision from his past that could unravel everything he's fighting for. And I wonder if he sees a vision of Usagi Yojimbo, his great ancestor.
Yeah.
So we got our A cover here by Jared Cullum. That's your interior artist.
I should have read #1 because that looks cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
There's a Stan Sakai, of course, your creator and main artist of Usagi, and a Kevin Eastman cover of fellow universe characters, the Ninja Turtles.
Yep. This is the Rocketeer, The Island, #2 out of 5, and we know the setup for this series is that back in 1937, Amelia Earhart went missing on her flight around the world, and so the Rocketeer was called in to run a mission to find her and rescue her. Well, in this one, after a rocky voyage, and that was what we saw in the first issue, the Rocketeer and his crew dock on a mysterious island in the area where Amelia was last heard from. And immediately they discover strange creatures that could just be real-life dinosaurs. Well, facing giant carnivorous monsters has to be better than staying on the ship with Betty and her cheesecake photographer Marco, right? So, Cliff Secord was not so happy with that they're there as well.
But this one is the book that also has Popeye. It has Tintin.
Yeah, and I didn't know those guys were going to be in there, so that was a fun surprise. This is our A cover by Jacob Edgar. That's your interior artist right there, and there's a Dave Stevens cover.
Next up, we got Cover Gallery, some really cool covers to show you. Starting with Godzilla Infinity Roar, issue #3.
That was cool.
So you've got Cosmic Ghost Rider against Destroya, which is really, really cool. That one is by Dave Raposa, and there is a Von Randall variant as well.
And this is Inglorious X-Force #4. This is the Gurahiru Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. variant with Boom Boom.
Boom is an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I'd like to see this series like with some of these heroes as just like straight up agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Kind of like new recruits to S.H.I.E.L.D. would be cool.
There's also a Philip Tan variant.
Always love Archangel.
Yeah.
We also have Magic and Colossus #3. This is the Megan Hetrick Ultimate Farewell cover. So farewell to these characters who've been villains for this entire Ultimate Universe. And there is also, this one's really cool, this is the Nimit Malavia variant. That one feels like it should be a foil.
Sure.
With, like,
oh my
the
gosh.
sword shining.
That'd be great. And then this is Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four #3. This is the Marcus Toe homage variant. And there's a Betsy Cola Ultimate Farewell variant with giant armed Wolverine. That's what it says. Oh, wait, no. Did I skip? I skipped down one line.
This is Scott Hepburn.
Scott Hepburn versus variant. My bad. Sorry about that. I skipped a line.
Well, next up we have Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant #3. This is the Ben Oliver Storm variant, and then we also have
this is the Betsy
Cola Ultimate Farewell cover with Storm.
Oops. This is Blood and Thunder #12. This is the EJ Sue I hate team ups, or I hate Fairland, I hate team ups variant. We also have Die Loaded #6 from David LaFuente. This is the I hate Fairyland team up variant. There is the Spawn #374.
I love that one.
Yeah, that's the. Is that? Wait a minute. Is this Spawn?
Yeah.
It's 374. This says it's the Brett Booth I hate Fairyland, but that doesn't look like Brett Booth.
Maybe it's Brett Booth doing a different style.
Because the signature isn't his either. But yeah, this is the.
Oh, no, this is the top one. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's a Spawn 374 Jonathan Uribe variant.
Which I just love that one. I love Hamburger Head Spawn.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't have the shoelaces from when the Batarang hit
him,
you know?
Well, next up, I want to mention this one. So this is Diablo Dawn of Hatred #1 of a 4-issue miniseries. This is the Adam Goran foil trade variant. So this one is going to be $14.99. We will be talking about this book on March 30th. That's when the actual FOC, you talk about on the show for that FOC. But because it's foil, you got to get your order in a little bit early. I also think it's interesting because this Diablo book was, there's the free comic book day book last year. It almost went an entire year before the actual series started. But if you want the foil version of this Diablo cover, make sure you go ahead and pre-order this one ahead of when we'll be actually talking about what the book's about and everything in a few weeks.
Yeah, and I like this. This is Dick Tracy #16, the Mahmoud Asrar variant. Kind of looks like a David Nakayama, color bleed variant or negative space variant. You just got a random floating hand out there. I like that too because even though that hand is literally just floating there, you can still in your mind picture exactly. Yeah. You can see everything. I love that.
And next up, we have a bookshelf. Some really cool collected editions this time. Going to kick it off with Absolute Green Lantern Volume 2. So this is going to collect issues 7 through 12 of the current Absolute Green Lantern series. So if you've been waiting to read it in trade, you've got this one. And there is a there's a hardcover edition for $29.99, and there is a paperback for $19.99.
And this is the book that proves I have no self-control. So this is Batman Superman World's Finest, the Deluxe Edition hardcover Volume 1. This is going to be $49.99, and it collects the first 11 issues of Batman Superman World's Finest. I have all the single issues, I have all the hardcovers, and I'm still going to get this one because this book is so good, and it deserves... This is as close as we'll get to an omnibus for now. I hope they do an omnibus at some point, but yeah... A deluxe edition, a little bit oversized hardcover of issues 1 through 11 of World's Finest.
And next up, we have DC's Finest, Deadman, How Many Times Can a Man Die? This is really exciting because this kind of collects a lot of the original Deadman appearances, which I also believe has his origin in it, which was in Strange Adventures. So has issues from Strange Adventures, Brave and the Bold, Challengers the Unknown, Justice League of America, The Forever People, World's Finest, Phantom Stranger, Superman Family, and Aquaman. So I like this because those are all things that, if you got, any one of those, you would have only got a part. But this is a very, we had to pull from a lot of places.
Very comprehensive, yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe if you got the Deadman Omnibus that came out fairly recently, I don't think you need this one because it's mostly the same stuff.
But this one is going to be $49.99 or $39.99, and I love Deadman, so I think this one's really, really cool.
And I've only ever read Deadman when he's a guest in another story, so I don't think I've read any like solo Deadman stories, or if I have, it's only been a couple. So to have a whole book of just that stuff,
Yeah.
that I'm looking forward to that. I got the omnibus, so I haven't read it yet, but I need to crack into that. Well, this is DC Finest Supergirl Die and Let Live. This is going to be $39.99 as well, and this collects some more of Peter David's run. I think hasn't there already been one Supergirl with Peter David?
Yeah.
And this is kind of the next one. So this collects a bunch of Supergirl books from the 90s. Supergirl 19 through 35. We've got books from Resurrection Man, Team Superman Secret Files and Oranges, Team Superman, Supergirl, Prism, Double Shot, and the Adventure Comics 80-page giant from around this time period. So just a lot of good Peter David 1990s Supergirl stuff right here.
Yeah, really good series. Next up, we have the trade paperback version of Bring on the Bad Guys. This was actually a really fun series of one-shot spotlighting different Marvel villains by Mark Guggenheim. So this is going to have the Doctor Doom, the Green Goblin, Abomination, Loki, Red Skull, Dormammu, and Mephisto, the whole thing that did have an overarching storyline, but also was kind of fun spotlights on each of the characters and had one little element that tied them all together. But if you like Marvel villains, this is one of the best things they've done in quite a while.
The Red Skull one, and I think Green Goblin was really cool.
Yeah.
And there was one other one I really liked too. I don't remember which one it was, but
yeah, I enjoyed all of these. So I think this is really cool, and this is going to be $24.99.
So this is the X-Men Blue and Gold Bloodties Omnibus. This is going to be $125, and it collects the entire Bloodties story from the 90s that was a big crossover between all of the X-Men books and a bunch of Avengers stuff as well. But it's not like, if I remember, I haven't read it since the 90s, but I don't think they were fighting each other, like they usually do these days. So this just has a bunch of issues of Uncanny X-Men, X-Men, Avengers West Coast, Cable, X-Men Unlimited, regular Avengers. This has the 4-issue Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix miniseries. So just a bunch of 90s X-Men and Avengers. And it's one big story. It's one big crossover that just ran through all those books. So this is going to be cool to have in one giant book. So this is the Andy Kubert cover, which was the cover to X-Men number 30, where Cyclops and Jean Grey got married. And then we have the John Romita Jr. This is the direct market cover, which is only available at comic book stores like ours. The other one was the standard edition cover, which is available everywhere.
Well, next up, we also have X-Men From the Ashes trade paperback, even though From the Ashes was also kind of the title of the era of X-Men all the books took place in. This is actually collecting the Marvel Unlimited comics, which I did read a lot of these. I read all the ones that tied in were Generation X, where it was like revisit Generation X. It was a lot of fun. But this one collects Xavier's Secret, Demons and Death, and Tooth and Claw, and The Undertow. So a couple of those different stories by different creative teams all collected together in a physical form for the first time. And you can get this one for $19.99.
Oh man, this is Gunpowder Prophets, the trade paperback.
I had to put this on there for you.
This is going to be $17.99. It collects the entire 5-issue Gunpowder Prophets miniseries, which was probably my favorite indie of 2025. You have Huck and Marley, who are your two characters in the background there. This is set in the 70s. It's like a kind of a 70s grindhouse buddy cop kind of thing, but there's also some supernatural elements as well with the young girl America. Her parents are both like a warlock and a witch, and they're at odds with each other. They're trying to get at her, and she has her own supernatural power, and they have to fight all kinds of things. It's a quick read. It's really fun. There's full of action. One of the issues is the entire thing is a car chase. So this is really, really, really good. I bought all the single issues, and I'm probably still going to get this as well. So definitely pick this up if you're just looking for a good indie book to read. I would recommend this to anybody.
Only $17.99.
$17.99.
Well, next up we have Koshchei the Deathless Omnibus. And this is really cool. So this is set within the Hellboy universe, but you don't need to have read any Hellboy to be able to read this. Koshchei is a really interesting character started out as a warlord who sold his heart or his soul or whatever so he could be deathless. But then he just lived a long time and got really bored and wanted to get that back. He didn't want to die, but he wanted the ability to die. And so this was one of my favorite Hellboy tie-in series. And this collects Koshchei the Deathless 1 through 6, which is the first one. Koshchei in Hell, which was a really fun one that was very reminiscent of Hellboy in Hell. Sir Edward Grey, Acheron one-shot. And the Serpent in the Garden, The Last Battle for England, plus all the epilogues and everything that goes along with it. So another great addition to your Hellboy adjacent collection with this one. I've already actually pre-ordered this. And this is $39.99. And I also want to mention this. I saw this on here and I thought this was really cool. I did a little bit more deep diving into it. So this is the Art of Star Wars, the manga, Volume 1. So 20 years after A New Hope came out, manga creator Hisao Tamaki adapted the films into his own singular style that allowed Legion of Star Wars fans to enjoy their favorite story in an exciting new way. Now Dark Horse has unearthed and meticulously reassembled Tamaki Sensei's original artboards to a chronicle and showcase the creation of the unique artifact of popular culture. This also collects the first half of the adaptation in high-resolution reproductions of the original unaltered art. The work is accompanied by an all-new translation of the authentic Japanese lettering, which itself was inspired by the alternate language dub that has been enjoyed by Japanese-speaking audiences for generations. Plus, it has a lot of extra stuff in it. But looking in on this, there's some pages, and you get the original artboards that are all in Japanese, and then over on the side, it's got like panel 1, speech bubble 1 says this, and so you could actually see the original, but still be able to read it with that.
And this said it does actually collect the story too, or part of it?
Yeah, it's got like the first half of the story. But it kind of looks a little bit like the IDW collections where it looks like the paper.
Oh yeah.
Like you got some of the notes on there and stuff. The ink bleeds off of the panels a little bit. But I thought this was really cool when I looked at it. Like the art in this is incredible, really, really cool, and so a great addition to your manga collection, your Star Wars collection. Very unique thing they're doing here. And I think they said this is going to end up being 2 volumes that covers everything.
Well, yeah, it has a number 1, and anytime, like on an omnibus, if it ever says volume 1, I'm always hopeful that there's more after that. Yeah.
So I think the entire thing will be collected, and you can read the entire thing within the 2-volume set.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've never seen this before, so I think I'm gonna check this one out.
Yeah, this is $49.99, and I forgot how many pages it is, but it is, it's
Is it hardcover?
I think it is a hardcover.
Okay.
I believe so. And next up, we've got some new printings to show off.
So we have Absolute Superman number 15, the second print. The A cover for the second print of number 15. There's also a Juan Ferreira foil variant that is also the second print to number 15. We have a second print of number 16, and this is the A cover for that. And then there is a Gerald Perel variant for the second print of number 16 as well.
I've already pre-ordered this one.
Yeah,
that design for Hawkman, I think that's so
that looks awesome.
Strong. It pulls in the Egyptian side with this little mummy like mask and everything, but also the Thanagarian part, plus like kind of a bomber jacket, which is really cool because it kind of goes back to his agelessness of.
Well, his face is wrapped up like a mummy, so there's your Egyptian heritage right there.
That's very cool. So I've already pre-ordered that one.
Yeah, that's great.
Next up, we have Absolute Wonder Woman number 16, and these are going to be really popular because these sold out very fast of the storyline with Zatanna, which we're still in the middle of, basically. We're going to be getting more of those. But this is Wonder Woman 16 second print, the cover A by Hayden Sherman, which looks like your original one. And there is a Gilliam March foil variant, which was a variant for this issue before, but wasn't foil.
Usually it's the other way. Usually the foil comes first, and then they do a regular version.
Yeah, but you can play with that any direction you want. And this is actually the cover I got for that issue. So it's cool that it's also in foil.
But the real banger...
The real banger is this one. This is the Absolute Wonder Woman number 16 second printing cover C, the Mark Brooks variant. This wasn't anywhere. This wasn't a previous cover anywhere. And seeing Mark Brooks' version of this Zatanna, it kind of cements it in my mind of like, oh, that's what she looks like.
Yeah, he posted this on Twitter just a couple of days ago as like the big reveal. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh man, that's a cool store exclusive."
Yeah.
Or that's a cool incentive or whatever. And he himself replied to somebody and said, "No, this is just an open order." He did have, I think, some virgin versions like he signed on his own website. But this right here, open order. Like you can just get it. Like you don't have to get it from any store or whatever. You can just order it. I mean, it's $6.
Yeah,
you can just buy this. This is awesome. I'm definitely getting that one.
I've already pre-ordered this one too. I think that's awesome.
This is Action Comics number 454, the facsimile edition. The significance of this is Superman eats a bunch of cheeseburgers, I guess.
I love this. This whole time frame of Action Comics Superman was wild. This is, I don't know, it just reminds me of like the Family Guy Jughead joke where he's like, oh, he can't eat all those hamburgers. Well, Superman could eat all those hamburgers. And I like the fake McDonald's with like too many arches.
Right.
So that's really fun. And this has a regular edition, a foil edition, and a blank sketch cover where you can draw your own Superman eating a bunch of hamburgers.
Oh my gosh.
Also, there is this one, which is Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen 115 facsimile edition. And this is another one. This is a series I love of covers that I want like a collection of just the covers of Superman being a big old jerk.
Oh man, there's so many of them. You could make an omnibus out of Superman being a jerk covers.
There's the ones where he like pulls Lois to space and is like, "Ha, you can't breathe in space." Yeah. And this one that he's just like holding water over Aquaman in the desert. The previous one, he's eating everybody's hamburgers. So
I think there's one where he told Lois he doesn't want to talk to her because she's too fat or something. I'm like, oh my gosh, you can't do that's awful.
I want a whole storyline where they reveal this is just one Superman from an alternate Earth where he's not evil. He's just very unpleasant.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
He's just really annoying and a jerk. So you can get this one as well. And this is just standard price. It's $3.99. Yeah. I think this one also has the foil and all of that.
This is Ted Okay #1, the second print. This is a new cover. The first cover wasn't like this. And I don't think that's a panel.
I don't think it is.
It may have been a panel from the first issue. I don't quite remember. But this one was pretty trippy. So if you're looking for a pretty far out there book that's going to go into a lot of weird places, definitely check this out.
And then I'm really happy they're doing these. Invincible Universe Capes is getting more reprints. I think all of these variants are by Chris Burnham.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Which would also make sense because he worked with Robert Kirkman on Die, Die, Die. So Kirkman kind of keeps his friends around. But this is your #2 second printing. There's a #3 second printing. And a #4 second printing with Chronodial. So yeah, those are really, really cool.
And then we have White Sky #1, the third printing. This book was huge when it first came out. It's one of those where we didn't know that it was going to blow up like it did, and then it went through a second printing as well, and now you can get the third printing. So if you missed those first two, you can grab this one.
Yeah, the second printing comes out this coming week, but I'm not sure if we're already sold out of those. Yeah. So if you miss out on the second print, or maybe you didn't pre-order it, go ahead and pre-order this one just to make sure, because I'm not sure. But it is kind of crazy that I feel like so many of these books we've talked about for so long, but we still haven't got issue 2s of them. But we've mentioned, like, we just got issue 2 of Dork, but we talked about the second printings and all that forever. Yeah. And
so we do have the second printing of #1 on the website right now. It is one per customer, so please adhere to that. We have the A cover and the one per store. Thank you variant.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's $49.99. That's a different one.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a second print of the one per store.
But it's a special one they send. Okay. One per store.
Yeah, we do have the A cover, second print #1, but again, one per customer.
Yeah. Go ahead and grab that because by tomorrow it'll be gone.
They'll be gone. Yeah.
And that is it for Comics from the Future. Thank you so much for watching. Head over to infinityflux.net right now where you can start placing your pre-orders for these books, like we mentioned, and it feels like no better perfect timing than with all these crazy #1s selling out immediately and everything. But everyone who pre-orders them got them. You can get as many as you want. You could order 50 copies of Dork #1 first printing if you were up on it at the time. But
and not just to get the the hot covers that you're the hot books that you want, but also like we talked about with Firestorm, to support the books that you want to see continue. It's those pre-orders that really count. I mean, buying it off the shelf is great. You would think, hey, I bought it off the shelf, that's really helping, but it's really those pre-order numbers that is what the publishers are looking at to determine whether a series can continue on or not.
Yeah, so there's some great stuff on here, especially for variants too. Make sure you pre-order the variant you want, because those we don't order as many of. So if there's one you're like, oh man, I really like that, just go ahead and pre-order it, because you're going to get it anyways, and that way it guarantees you get it and lets us know that that one is one that people are interested in. Make sure to tune into our show on Monday, where we'll be going over a lot of really awesome books that are coming out next week, like Lobo #1, like Batwoman #1, like Deathstroke #1, like Battle Beast number 7.
Yeah. Superman Unlimited #11, which is a big thing. Oh my gosh, there's a Sentry #1 from Marvel. Yeah. There's a bunch of Marvel like #2s, I think, and I don't remember.
It is a very big week. Yeah. So you don't want to miss that, to hear about some of those books coming out next week, and get ready to order them.
Yeah, I think it may be, and we say this a lot, but I think it may be the biggest week of the year so far, both in number and caliber of books, I think.
Yeah, but you'll know on Monday, so make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content, because we do it multiple times a week. Even more now that we're doing our live video on Wednesdays weekly. We've got a lot of fun plans for that one as well.
We have a couple of quick short videos coming to where Andy and I showcase a couple more comics from the Infinity Flux Vault. We've got Amazing Fantasy #15 and Amazing Spider-Man #1 that we showed off the other day. We're going to be posting those videos real soon as well.
Yeah, tons of awesome stuff. So, all that being said, until next time,
see ya.